Okay, what I have here is half a cup of water in a stainless steel pot, and I've got Liquid Stevia. I will show you the brand I like. I'll link it in the show notes. The reason I use Liquid Stevia instead of a powder is because powders tend to have the allulose and fluff everything up to where it's lots of bubbles. And so you don't, of course, have to use stevia, liquid stevia, in the bread and butter pickle brine. You can use liquid monk. Was it monk fruit? Yeah. I think there are a couple of other liquid, healthy um, sugar alternatives to sweetening this. I have some celery flakes, some mustard seeds, some whole cloves, and some broken up cinnamon sticks, and half a cup of white distilled vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. I just prefer that for the color, and some kosher salt. What I'm going to be pickling with these things is not a traditional cooked pickle. I'm not putting these things in a canning jar to can and pressure or water bathe. I'm doing it from basically raw to hot liquid to the refrigerator. So it's very simple, few steps as far as intensive once you get the brine done. You can definitely make more brine than I'm making today and keep it on hand. So here we go. Just a pinch of kosher salt. That's my pinch. Not much. Maybe more. There we go. Not even quite an eighth. And we're going to add, for every half cup of sugar, you want to add a teaspoon of liquid stevia, at least this brand. However, I don't particularly like these to be super candy sweet, so I'm just using the 3/4. So I'm going to go with 3 of these. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to use this handy dandy thing to stir some stuff around because I'm not using it again. Get our vinegar in here. Skills. Made it. And probably just a couple good sized broken pieces of the cinnamon, because this is not a very big bunch of water. And I just like this to be a little bit of a hint. 1, 2, let's say 3, 1 more, 4. I will make a video one day and show you how I store these. They're magnified to the back of my cabinet door, so they don't take up space. I'll get to that. I can actually put the link to what those are in my show notes too. And then we're just going to put in 4 cloves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow I want to make those. I'm just doing 2 jars today, I think. So hopefully I can make them disperse into the jars as well. And we're going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seed, which static electricity likes to make them stick there. And just 1/4. And a 1/4 teaspoon of celery flakes, which are not my favorite, but it aids in the flavor. Now you can add, if you'd like, a dash of nutmeg, or if you have, whole nutmeg you want to grate in here. I'm just going to keep it simple for right now. And what else I like to do is take the remainder of the previous jar that I already had canned, and I want to add it to this to just reconstitute everything to have the same flavor. We're going to boil this for just a couple minutes and then go ahead and can our items. But right now, this is your brine. And we're going to bring this to a low boil for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then we're going to let it sit here while I cut up the veggies for what I'm pickling. I will be pickling, oh, that's a leftover pickle rind. I will be pickling the beets out of the garden. Just got enough freshly to do 1 can. That's a cucumber, but I don't really want it. And I will be pickling some cucumbers, so to make some new bread and butter chips. You can pickle carrots with this. You can pickle just about anything that you would slice or shred up raw. One of my other favorites is red onions because it tends to turn the brine pink. You can, of course, pickle regular onions. Just about anything you want to pickle with a bread and butter, you know, that sweet and sour tone to it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I like to slice these up. The pickle brine's already been made. And the reason I use this mandolin is because I actually like this thickness. The food processor and me don't tend to get the right thickness and the right uniformity. Yeah, that's the word. So, going in the same direction. I've got a link to this exact mandolin, which has an awful lot of great tools with it. I'm not as coordinated with that. Wow, we're getting full. So one of the joys of doing this is to reuse old jars that are not necessarily canning worthy. I can definitely just still use an old pickle jar. They will be ready in about a week, and they will last for at least a month. Might get a little bit longer out of them depending on how fresh your cucumbers were. You don't have to worry about headspace. Let me use this in a recipe. We're going to pour liquid over it and then just put it in the fridge. Mark it on the top with a date of when it should be ready by. Be sure to click the link in the show notes to see the recipe for this brine. And yep, I want that clove. Good job. Let's get some mustard seeds. Oh, now I want more than that. Fish some of these out with a spoon here. I want some more mustard seeds in here and some more celery flakes. I don't want them to all go to the other stuff. Did I knock you? Can you see? Sorry. There you go. And then top it off. Let those go in. And the remainder of this is going to be going on beets. Now all I have to do is cover it. Don't need to worry about headspace or anything like that because it's not getting frozen and it's not getting canned in a canner. But it is, there we go. And then I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator, and in about a week, they will be good to use. Often helps if you shake it upside down, let those mustard seeds and celery flakes, or seeds if that's what you used, float all around. Isn't that beautiful? And I didn't have to cook it. I didn't have to can it. I'm just making it.